Hello students, today we are going to deal with the chapter in the Kingdoms of Fools written by A.K. Ramanujan. You people have already studied about some of the stories, for example like Alice in the Wonderland, the Harry Potter series, etc. It really takes us to the another world, isn't it? Yes, it really takes us to the another world. So today we are also going to deal with the similar kind of the story in the Kingdoms of Food. In this story, days are meant for sleeping and nights are meant for working. So in the Kingdoms of Food, written by A.K. Ramanujan, before I start the chapter, I would like to introduce with the writer A.K. Ramanujan. So A.K. Ramanujan was born in Mysore. He made his mark first as an Indian English poet in the mid-1960s. Later, he won enduring fame in India and abroad for his translation of classical Tamil poetry and later of Bhakti poetry in Tamil and Kannada. Ramanujan contributed to a range of disciplines including linguistic and cultural. He taught at the University of Chicago. He helped develop the South Asian Studies program. In 1976, the Indian government honored him with the title Padma Shri, the fourth highest civilian award in the country. Now the story in the Kingdom of Fools is a Kannada folktale taken from A.K. Ramanujan's Folktales from India. It is about an Ethiopian world that tells us how delusional life can be. So now let us read out the story what the author wants to convey. In the Kingdom of Fools, both the king and the ministers were idiots. They did not want to run things like other kings, so they decided to change nights into day, day into nights. They ordered everyone should be awake at night and run their business only after dark and go to bed as soon as the sun came up. If anyone would disobey would be punished with death. The people did as they were told because of fear of death. The king and the minister were delighted at the success of the project. One day a guru and the disciple arrived in the city. It was a beautiful city. It was broad daylight, but there was no one around. Everyone was sleeping. Even a cattle was taught to sleep in a day. The two strangers were amazed by what they saw around them and wandered around town till evening, when suddenly the whole town woke up, went about its nightly business. The two men were hungry. Now the shops were open. They went to buy some groceries. They found everything cost the same, a single daddu. Whether they bought a rice or a bunch of bananas, it cost a daddu. The guru and the disciples were delighted. They had never heard of anything like this. They could buy all the food they wanted for a rupee. But when they had cooked and eaten, the guru realized that this is the Kingdom of Fools, and it wouldn't be a good idea for them to stay there. This is no place for us. Let's go, he said to the disciple. But the disciple didn't want to leave the place because everything is getting in a cheap price. Guru said, they are all fools. It won't last very long. Can't tell what they will do the next. But the disciple didn't listen to the Guru. He wanted to stay back. Guru finally said that, do whatever you want, but I am leaving this kingdom, and left out. The disciple stayed back and he started having all those food and became fat like bulls. One bright day, a thief broke into rich merchant house. He had made a hole into the walls and entered. But while coming back, carrying his loot, the wall of the old house collapsed and killed him on the spot. His brother ran to the king and complained, Your Highness, my brother is killed by the wolves of merchant house. So merchant is responsible for everything. He has to build strong walls. You must punish him and compensate the family. King said, No problem. Justice will be done. Don't worry. King called the merchant. When merchant arrived, King questioned, What is your name? The merchant said, such and such, my highness. Were you at home when the man died? Merchant replied, Yes, my lord. He broke in and the walls was weak and fell on him. King said, You are accused, your walls killed this man, brother. You have murdered a man, we have to punish you. Lord, that helpless merchant said, I did not put up the walls, it really the fault of the man who built the walls. You should punish him. That walls were built during my parents' time. I know the man. Now he has become old. He lives nearby. The king sent out the messengers to bring him who built the walls. They brought the old man, tying hand and the foot. Now so now here we comes to the end of the first part of the story. So before we read anything further, I would like to give you some word meanings from this part of the story. Let's begin with the word. It may help you to understand the story. The first word is till. Means to raise crops by plowing and fertilizing. And the next word is delighted, to feel or show great pleasure. Then disciple refers to a follower or a pupil of a teacher or leader or philosopher. Next word is wandered, refers to roam about aimlessly. Finally, the dadu, a coin of the value of 4 or 2 annas. I hope that these words will help you to better understand the story.